Very good morning, Level 7A, and welcome back to our online class. How are you doing today? Good. I'm doing good too. Thank you very much. Have you done your homework? Great. Please make sure that you hand in your homework in the morning to your homeroom teachers by telegram, because if you don't have your homework, that means no scores for you, right? Remember, even though we're doing online classes, we're still collecting homeworks, we're still collecting classwork, and we're still giving you works as well. Your progress test 2 is coming soon, okay? So remember to study for your progress test 2 as well. All right, so what day are we in today? Right, today we're on Thursday, July 16th, 2020. Very good. So for session 1, we're going to be starting our Writing Bright 1. Today, we're going to be focusing on Unit 4, Past Time, page 39. But today's class for Writing Bright 1, we're just going to go through our grammar session, okay? All right, but before we go to our grammar session, let's have a quick lesson review on what we've done yesterday in our Writing Bright 1. Do you remember what we've done yesterday in Writing Bright 1? Right. So in our Writing Bright 1 yesterday, we did some simple past basic, right? So we were doing grammar for writing part of it. Use simple past to talk about something that happened in the past. So if something that already happened in the past, we add an ed, right? So for example, see, saw, that's different, talk. So the word, example, the word talk. Talk becomes talked, okay? ed. Walked, and so on and so forth, all right? So if we talk about simple past, we talk about something that happens in the past, something that happens already, all right? So then we add ed at the end of the word. The next thing we learned about past time expressions. So we use past time expression to talk about something that's already happened in the past at the time in the past. Okay, so for example, last year, last week, days ago, or something like that, okay? So we have last year, last week, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, couple of weeks ago, couple of months ago, 4 months ago. So a specific time that has happened in the past. So for example, I went to university 3 years ago. Okay, I went to university 3 years ago. Notice 3 years ago is a time expression, the number of years that I have already been to university. Okay. And then we learn about simple past with negative and questions. Now with the negative, we have a subject here, plus did not, plus verb. The example, for example, we could say, he did not go to Europe last summer. He did not go to his math class last week. Okay, so the word did not is a negative question, is a negative sentence, right? It's to point out that he did not do something, okay? And if you have to turn that into a question, it becomes did plus subject plus verb. For example, so it's a question, did he go to Europe last summer? Did he go to Europe last summer? Okay, so notice did he go to Europe last summer with a question mark. Okay, so did he go to Europe last summer? Right, so that's sentences and questions involved with simple past using negative and questions. Then we also have be, simple past. So be form of the verb be form is with was and or were. Okay, simple past form of the verb to be, right? So for example, it was an interesting story. The pictures were beautiful, okay? Past progressive, was and were or were and ing. So for example, was taking or were dancing and singing, all right? So you need a was, with ing, or a word ends with ing of a verb, okay? All right? So, were dancing, were singing, were taking, all right? Was taking, was singing, or were singing, okay? It's the same, right? Okay, so that's all for our lesson review. I hope that's okay. I hope that's helped, because normally with lesson review, we don't go too long, okay? We mostly focus on our main body subject, all right? So for today's class, let's focus a little bit for our grammar section. For Unit 4, past time, please open your book to page 39. If you don't have your book, it's okay. You can look at the whiteboard, and please make sure that you copy all this work into your notebooks at the end of the session. Very good. So for today's class, we divided the class into two: tips for better sentences and common mistakes. Let's have a look at the tips for better sentences. Now, when you want to write better sentences, we're doing a combination of adding with the word and. We've done this before in our previous pages, remember? Yes. So instead of writing one long boring sentence which repeating the same word, we can add and to make the words a little bit better into a better sentence. Okay, so for example here, he walked out of the house, he took a taxi. See, we're just talking about one he subject, right? So he's here twice. Yeah? So what is he doing? He walked out of the house, he took a taxi. So why not use the and put the words and to make a sentence into a better sentence? Now we have, he walked out of the house and took a taxi. Okay, so now we have, he walked out of the house here, right? Then he took a taxi. So this now, the he, we cut off the he, right? And then we only add and took a taxi, okay? So it's a better sentence instead of repeating he twice. So if there's a sentence that needs to be repeated twice, you can use the word and to make the sentence shorter and better, okay? So he walked out of the house and took a taxi. Okay, so here's a quick note for you. All right, so we can combine the two verbs, right? You combine the two verbs in the past tense using an to express that those, okay, so using an to express that those two actions happened in sequence, okay, or at the same time. When we do this, we make two short, choppy sentences into one longer, better sentence, okay? So instead of having two separate sentences that are a little bit long and boring, we make them into a nicer, short and boring, we make them into a longer and nicer and better sentence, okay? Like the example above, all right? So adding an and to a sentence is easy. Now don't worry, there's gonna be more extra classwork and homework for you on your way, okay? So you get plenty of practice, all right? Okay, so for the next one, we're going to look at some common mistakes. Now in English, a lot of people tend to make some mistakes when it comes to writing words and sentences in words or words into sentences, right? So sometimes we don't know that we actually make mistakes. Like me too. Sometimes when I write sentences, I tend to make mistakes, right? Then I realize, oh, it shouldn't be there. Oh, the word should not have been there, okay? Even sometimes I don't speak perfect English, right? Sometimes I make mistakes too when I speak English, okay? But then I realize and then I change it. So it's the same for you. When you speak English or when you write English, you're going to realize that, oh, wait, I made that mistake. It shouldn't be there, okay? So it's not a problem. We can sort that out, okay? So here let's have a look at the 4 distinguished common mistakes that we have here. Right, so the first common mistake that people use is misspell simple past verb. What do we mean by misspelled it? Because sometimes you either add an extra word, extra letters, or you just forgot and you think it needs to be there when it doesn't need to be there, okay? When you think, oh, it's in the past, so why don't we add ed? Because it's supposed to be added ed because it's happened in the past, like it says before. Simple past. We talk about something that's happened in the past, right? Okay, so let's have a look at the first one. It costed. Now notice the word costed. In English, there is never such word costed. What is costed? Costed, really? Do we have a word such word costed? Of course not. So it costed $100. Is it right? Of course not. It's not. So the actual real correct English word, it cost. It cost. Okay, it cost $100. That is correct, right? So you cannot say it costed $100. I think sometimes when people accidentally write it down, they think, oh yeah, it's in the past, everything has to have ed. No, not really. Not all words have to have ed. The same thing with see. The past tense of see is saw. I saw my mother yesterday, okay? Right? So we cannot write seed, okay? Then it's going to be another word, seed, right? Let's have a look at the next two exercises and you can tell me how to correct them, okay? So, he loosed his pen. He loosed his pen. Is loosed the correct English word? Is it correct spelling? Loosed. So we have here loosed. So it's either he loses his pen or he lost his pen, right? So it either lose or lost, right? He lost his pen. It's better if he lost his pen, okay? He lost his pen. Right? Next one. I spent my holiday in Hawaii. It says it's wrong there. I spent my holiday in Hawaii. I spent my holiday in Hawaii. Is it right to say I spent my holiday in Hawaii? I spent my holiday in Hawaii. I spent my holiday in Hawaii. Okay? Let's look at the wrong tense. We have a nice dinner yesterday. We have a nice dinner yesterday. Tense. So the word that is wrong is have. We don't say have for something that already happened. Right? We've learned about that. So we had a nice dinner yesterday. He calls me last night. He something me last night. He calls me last night. So again, if we talk about the tense and we talk about past tense, the word is calls. Now, is it correct to say he calls me last night? No, he called me last night. All right? Good. Don't worry because you'll get plenty of practice later, yeah? Let's have a look at wrong verb form. Did you went to school yesterday? Did you went to school yesterday? Is it right to say did you went to school yesterday? I know you're thinking, but teacher, it's in the past. It's right. But in a way, it's not. It's a wrong verb form, right? So not did you went. It's did you. Did you go to school last night? Okay? Yesterday, sorry. Did you go to school yesterday? All right. I did not went to school yesterday. So what would the answer be? I did not went to school yesterday. Again. I did not go to school yesterday. Good. The next one. Wrong past time expression. Okay. I met him before 2 days. I met him before 2 days. Before 2 days? I met him before 2 days. So if you want to say something that happened before, you say how many days ago? How many months ago, okay? So I met him before 2 days, I met him 2 days ago. 2 days ago. This is correct. Okay? I went there before 3 months. I went there before 3 months. Again, it's not right. I went there before 3 months. What would be the correct answer? I went there 3, the same as the one above, 3 months ago. Right? I went there 3 months ago. All right. So these are just some basic grammar skill that you need to take in mind. Okay? So it's just some ideas to help you how to write better English. Okay? Even though English is our second language. Okay? But still, we can take all of these tips and to make it our own. And so we have some ideas when it comes to writing sentences. Okay? I hope this helps. Please make sure that you copy this into your notebook. Okay? All right. That's all from me for session 1. I will see you all in session 2. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.